You've seen the first glimpse. Now, it's time to go deeper, to trace the boundary between code and emotion, between technology and artistry, between world building and world being. This is more than an upgrade, it's a bold new vision, one that redefines how narrative, design, and technology converge. It is exemplified by features like Nanite foliage rendering and multi-character motion matching, which blur the line between immersion and interaction to craft an experience where player agency and emotional resonance intertwine like never before. And you're not just watching it unfold, you're being invited to live within it, to breathe it, to belong to it. A few weeks ago, right here on this channel, we shared the first cinematic reveal of The Witcher 4, a monumental return, years in the making. That teaser radiated with tension, wonder, and promise. But it was only a fragment, a flicker of a greater blaze, waiting to be kindled into something far more expansive, more transformative. A doorway cracked just enough to glimpse the future. What lies beyond is a creative blaze, one that doesn't just continue the saga, but redefines what a fantasy role-playing game can dare to become in this generation and for the ones that follow. Today, we step beyond that threshold into the creative furnace, into the deep design thinking, the systems that don't merely support gameplay, but evoke emotion, into a development mindset where Projekt Red, together with Epic Games, is not crafting just a game, but an environment of living, evolving, responsive narrative. A world that feels your presence, a world that doesn't just react to your choices, but seems to anticipate them. A world that responds to your instincts with an uncanny sense of awareness and mirrors your intentions in ways both subtle and profound. It's an evolution of experience, a convergence of artistry and artificiality that brings storytelling to the edge of what's technically and emotionally possible. This is The Witcher 4, not a sequel, but a threshold to something deeper. It is the synthesis of all that came before and the prologue to everything yet to be. It is where the accumulated craftsmanship of Projekt Red meets the cutting-edge possibilities of Unreal Engine 5 to deliver a new generation of interactive storytelling, one where the lines between author, player, and world are no longer clearly drawn, but beautifully blurred. We begin again in Kovir, not as passive tourists, but as participants in a layered, lived-in reality. As Ciri rides through the northern frontier, the camera reveals more than landscape. It exposes terrain shaped by time, war, and weather. This is not merely backdrop, it's testimony. Every ruined archway, every creaking signpost, every withered orchard is a part of Kovir's silent archive. The environment speaks in the language of memory, and players become its listeners, interpreting echoes from the past through environmental storytelling elements like ruined structures, the hint at former conflicts, or interactive clues that unlock fragments of Kovir's hidden history. These details aren't merely atmospheric. They feed directly into exploration mechanics and narrative triggers. A crumbled bridge might signal an alternate path, while a bloodstained shrine could unlock a dialogue option or uncover a hidden threat. The very soil beneath her feet seems haunted by decisions made long ago, whispering context into every step forward. These aren't just mountains and forests, they are scars. They hold grudges and they remember who walks them. Kelpie, Ciri's faithful steed, is more than a mount. Unlike Roach from previous Witcher games, whose charm often came from unpredictability, Kelpie embodies a leap in fidelity and control. She's not just along for the ride, she's an active partner in traversal and storytelling. With multi-character motion matching and root motion-enabled traversal, the relationship between Ciri and Kelpie is rendered with stunning fidelity. Mounting and dismounting are seamless, responsive, and fluid from every angle, a far cry from the scripted animations of the past. This synergy isn't just about movement, it's about connection. About unity between character and companion. Kelpie reacts to terrain, shifts in pace, and even nearby danger with a realism that speaks volumes without a single line of dialogue. And in moments of quiet, when you simply ride, the bond becomes emotional, even spiritual. But this isn't only about sight, it's about sensation. Snow doesn't just fall, it clings, melts, shapes the pace of pursuit. Wind is not a cosmetic force. It affects Ciri's posture, the tension in Kelpie's reins, the rhythm of the music. Sound design and procedural animation combine to create an atmospheric realism that doesn't demand your attention, it earns it. What you hear matters, what you feel, even more so. The rustle of trees, the creak of old bridges, the distant howl, all of it becomes a language you learn to interpret, an emotional score that plays whether you're in battle or solitude. Even how footsteps echo off stone walls in narrow alleys, or how wind stirs leaves overhead, all contribute to a world that breathes back. Nowhere is this more evident than in the Foliage system, built not with the traditional billboard tricks of old, but with Nanite geometry and volumetric voxel representation. Every needle of a pine tree, every blade of grass, every autumn leaf falling in Kovir's late season is rendered with stunning precision. It's not just for show, light filters through in volumetric shafts. Wind carves its presence through bending branches. Wildlife retreats or emerges depending on your presence. This is nature not as prop, but as participant. Combat, though briefly teased, hints at a rebalanced philosophy. Not a reinvention for its own sake, but a refinement of tension and timing. The choreography between Ciri and her enemies is punctuated by movement that feels more responsive, more personalized, as if the swordplay itself is an extension of narrative rhythm. Enemy design, including the implied presence of the manticore, suggests ecological storytelling. Monsters are not just threats, but warnings. They are symptoms of the world's deeper sickness, and hunting them is both cure and confrontation. Your decisions on how to approach a hunt, when to strike, and how to interpret clues in the environment become essential extensions of the storytelling arc. Combat becomes choreography, and choreography becomes language. Terrain alters tempo. Fighting in swampy wetlands demands a slower, more reactive rhythm than dueling atop wind-blasted cliffs. Enemy types push you into different cadences. Swift specters force rapid, darting footwork, while heavy brutes demand patient, circling strikes. Each location, each opponent, becomes a partner in the dance, defining your style with every step. Each encounter demands not only reflexes but rhythm, encouraging players to read an enemy's patterns and respond with fluid precision, transforming each battle into an expressive, tactical dance. The blade sings a different tune in each encounter, reflecting the unique dance between predator and prey, justice and chaos. The monsters, from winged hellspawn to grotesque new entities, are crafted not just for spectacle, but to reflect the psychological landscape of the region they inhabit. And they are tied directly into the branching quests that shape player decisions and world states. A single misstep or alliance could ripple through the political undercurrents of Kovir, bringing unexpected consequences later. Every fight is more than survival, it's a statement. Valdrest, the port city revealed in the demo, doesn't simply serve as a hub, it's a mirror to your presence. Every choice you make reverberates through its alleys and marketplaces. You do not simply pass through Valdrest. You leave ripples, some fade, others return. This is a testbed for world reactivity. The fishmonger's gossip, the innkeeper enforces justice, the merchant lies with a smile. But these are not performances in isolation. This is a system at play, dynamic, alive, and waiting to be provoked by your decisions, moral choices, small acts of curiosity, or subtle breaches in etiquette, like lingering too long near a whispered conversation or choosing when and where to draw your blade. Every movement in this city is an invitation to engage with its ecosystem, not just its economy, but its ethics. Whether you're bartering, eavesdropping, or simply passing through, you're participating in the unwritten rules of a living society. Crimes do not go unnoticed, promises are remembered. Secrets, once uncovered, have weight. Dialogue is no longer just flavor, it is function. It can unlock paths or close doors. Even the smallest exchanges, like the fishmonger's rhyme or Wilfred's drunken rants, are rich with implication. For instance, helping Wilfred find his lost coin pouch after overhearing his slurred confession might lead to an unexpected confrontation with a corrupt town guard, revealing a smuggling ring you'd otherwise miss. These moments often trigger unexpected dialogue branches, unlock hidden quests, or subtly shift how NPCs react to your presence in future encounters, are rich with implication, often triggering unexpected dialogue branches, unlocking hidden quests, or subtly shifting how NPCs react to your presence in future encounters. They build tone, they invite scrutiny, they breathe. CD Projekt Red's use of metahuman technology ensures that even side characters possess the granularity and nuance to matter. Eyelines shift, breathing patterns change. Reactions delay, not from lag, but from realism. This is not automation, it's orchestration. And that orchestration allows even the mundane to become memorable. The street performer, the beggar, the suspicious noble, each becomes a potential node in your narrative tapestry. Their expressions are shaped by memory, what they saw, what they heard, what you did. Your reputation echoes, your silence is noticed. Your kindness is not forgotten. Powered by Unreal Engine 5, the world runs at 60 frames per second with ray tracing on PlayStation 5, and within that flow, Unreal's Chaos Flesh Silver and machine-learned deformations bring muscles to life. Kelpie's stride, the tension in a merchant's jaw, the fear in a peasant's expression, all of it anchored in reactive, believable motion. Branching AI paths improved crowd behavior, and spatially aware sound deepened immersion further, offering players the tools to read the world not just through visuals, but through intuition and tone. You're not just in the world, you're decoding it. 300 animated characters fill the city, not placed arbitrarily, but woven together through Unreal's new animation framework. These non-playable characters are not only smart objects, but living elements of a vast theatrical play. Every player action may change the act, conversations evolve, routines shift. The balance of power tilts with each decision you make. The result? An open world where immersion isn't just a goal, it's the ground rule. Every crowd has logic, every celebration has history, every reaction has cause. Lonexon, teased in the closing seconds, is more than a location. Like Kovir's war-torn wilderness and Valdrest's reactive streets, it appears as another intricate layer in a world shaped by memory and choice, a place where Ciri's legacy may be tested even further. It's an invitation. It is the unknown that keeps us hungry. A promise of narrative threads yet to be unraveled. Its reveal is not a climax, it's a prelude. And like the best of the Witcher lore, it is mysterious, haunted, full of weight and silence. It doesn't shout, it waits, and in that waiting, we imagine. We wonder what awaits in its shadowed alleys, what powers govern its streets, and what role Ciri and you might play in what's to come. If Valdrest is the city that reflects your choices, perhaps Lonexon is the one that tests them. This is how CD Projekt Red is reshaping the future of open-world role-playing games, not by following fleeting trends, but by pursuing authenticity. In the way characters move, in how dialogue flows, in the weight of every decision, they are crafting a world that answers with nuance and memory. This is more than an engine upgrade. It's a transformation of storytelling itself. A call to creators and players to demand more than polish, to seek purpose. It is a profound trust in the player's emotional intelligence, their ability to empathize, to reflect, and to act with intent. A world this alive doesn't just respond, it remembers, it evolves, and it invites us to grow with it. So if this is the future of The Witcher, then the path is not just ahead, it's beneath us, already shaped by Ciri's journey from exile to resolve, from hunted girl to a wielder of fate. For those who rode alongside her through the fires of Kaer Morhen, the betrayals of Novigrad, and the lonely snows of Skellige, this world is not unfamiliar, it is an echo now made solid. Her growth, marked by pain, power, and purpose, is now reflected in every stone of this evolving world. As she carves her future, so do we, with every step, every choice, every story we help her write, already unfolding. We are not waiting for the next chapter, we are walking into it. Not as wanderers, as witnesses, as architects of story. As companions in a tale that breathes, it's beneath us, already shaped by Ciri's journey from exile to resolve, from hunted girl to a wielder of fate. Her growth, marked by pain, power, and purpose, is now reflected in every stone of this evolving world. As she carves her future, so do we, with every step, every choice, every story we help her write, already unfolding. We are not waiting for the next chapter, we are walking into it. Not as wanderers, as witnesses, as architects of story, as companions in a tale that breathes. The fire has been lit and the world waits. Onward, Kelpie.